Hello and welcome everyone in another episode of Researcher Celebrity. Today we have Dr. Shashikant with us. A brief about Dr. Shashikant. He has done his bachelor's and master's in biotechnology from Ranchi University and Gadwal University. And then he joined ICGB for his PhD and got his degree awarded from Delhi University. Then he moved to United States and did couple of postdocs at different universities, the Ohio State University, Cleveland Clinic, and then as a research instructor at University of Colorado. Currently, Dr. Shashi is a scientist at Boehringer Ingelheim at Iowa. Thank you, Dr. Shashi, for taking time out and let's start the conversation.
First of all, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk about in your channel like Researcher Celebrity. So I'm very thankful. So
We always start this conversation that how and when you decided that you want to become a researcher.
uh, uh, see, this is a great question, and I think no one in this world can answer this question in a like one line. Uh, I must say, I can tell you a proverb like small steps uh, takes you to a like a mile, like a small step taken together takes you to a mile. So in my scenario also, like when I was doing plus two, then it was not in my mind like I become like I enter into the research. So it was a great debate when you do a plus two, like what path you are going to have, right? So I will start from the initial, like how I landed up to the research, and then how a small step taken together, and that give you the way. Okay, like if you take one step, then you find some other thing, then you take one step, then you take one step, and ultimately you think that like, okay, this is best for me. And then your decision is very crucial while you are taking the step, like, okay, whatever the step, either you are taken willingly or but unwillingly, like if it, sometimes you don't have any choice but still you have to take those steps. But the point is this: whatever anyone do in the life, like he should be very confident and then justify whatever he is doing, right? So when I'm a Navodaya, like did my schooling from Navodaya Vidyalaya. So it was a great school, but the point is this: I belongs to a small town, and then the whole district, like there was a competition where you go for exams, and then from the whole district per session, they will select only 80 like a student from the whole district, and then you start your schooling. So it's a complete like a boarding type of school run by like, it was initiated by Rajiv Gandhi. So it's a central run schools, Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti. It's all over the India. So I study like 6 to 10 over there. So from there, like when you have a very small town going to the school till like grade 5, and then when you landed up to the grade 6, where the all the like cream of the people, like a student is landed at one position, then you know how where I am, right? So from there, I can think of that. No, world is too like if you jump into the well and then there is a like you interact with the people, then you know yourself like, okay, where I am, right? So from there, I have in the mind, okay, there are uh, you are going to interact with lots of competition, lots of people into your life, right? Then completing, like I completed 10th from there, and then after that, like, okay, what to take, like because in our society, either your path, like your parents always suggesting like either doctor or engineer, right? There is no, and even in our like if you go back 20 years back, there is only two thing in India. Now in India is like so much grown up, and then if you go and then if you ask, people can tell you, okay, there is lots of opportunity. I'm doing media, though, and so some people is also going for sports. Some people also going for like research, science, like science, or like a doctor, engineer, accounts. Like there's a lots of possibility, right? But at our time, definitely your parents also must have said, no, you have a path of either doctor, engineer, you have to choose, right? So I thought, I don't know what to check. So I have taken maths and bio both at the at the
Mm-hmm.
same time in plus two. And I have taken admission in in Ranchi, Guru Nanak school. And then I went over there. It was overwhelming experience at the first day or like initial 30 days. Like I thought where I came over there. Like I was thinking I don't know anything, and then people are so smart enough, and then they are talking about like they are having classes from like for IIT for the different medical schools. Even when the first day in the summer vacation they started the classes or something, I said, oh my god, I think I'm like the tiny piece into the whole universe. Like what I can do in my life. Then I'm thankful to like because as I am in Navodaya and I interacted suddenly I got two more people from the Navodaya Vidyalaya. So we are kind of family wherever we find a Navodaya, they are kind of family. So we started sitting together and then thinking about that what you are doing, what I am doing. And eventually I came into the scenario like, okay, I have taken the wrong decision because maths is like compared to 10th to 12, it's a very vague, right? Very high. So you cannot catch up or something. So important thing is the life, you have to accept what you can't do, right?
Yes.
And so definitely you have to accept in your life the people who don't accept something like you when you can't do, it means he is not justifying himself. Okay. So I accepted like no, math is a not a things for my plate. So I should leave it. So after first half, like after 6 months in 11th, I left mathematics. And then I have taken another subject and then finally decided to, okay, I will be pursuing for like biology and any other subject, like Hindi subject. Then completed over there. So in my life, I also work on my thing, what I don't like, what I don't like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's good like any student, like I have to do this thing in my life. I am little different. I first preference what I do
Yes.
in.
Very important.
Yeah, so I decided myself I'm not going to, even I have taken biology, but I decided with this rat race. Everyone is like, going to school 9 o'clock, coming by like 4 o'clock, and then going for lots of coaching classes, coming home 9 o'clock, and then the rat race is like, oh my god, where you are, right? So I said no, I am not going to. And the life of a doctor is a hell kind of thing if you see that, because I prefer just like, okay, I have some my personal life in my career, like you can stay with your family, like work life balance. Definitely we will talk about the work life balance, but the point is this: if I become a doctor, there is no Saturday, Sunday, there is no weekend, there is no holiday, there is nothing. So I decided, me and my friend Vishal Singh Negi both decided, let's quit medical also. We have to think something else out of that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we completed plus two. So then there was a course like biotechnology came at the point,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a very new courses like even in like if you like in Bihar and Jharkhand, if you see that there is only one year, like when like 1 year before it was implemented at that point of time. So even if no one knows about that courses, but biotechnology looks very promising because the media everywhere is. So if you do biotechnology, you can be like doing like very promising, you become settled very quickly or something. So it's but not like that, but it was a new course. Then we gave exams, both of them selected to a same university, Ranchi University. We once again started same bench and same place, me and Vishal Singh Negi, and went there, started our journey as a BSc Biotechnology course. Then there, like when we started the course, right? So it started with molecular biology, immunology, biochemistry, recombinant DNA technology. Once again, we landed up to the lots of bouncer. Then I feel that like no, you cannot escape all the bouncer in your life. You have to take those bouncers, and then you have to accept, like, okay, no, now you have to fight back, and then you have to go into the competition. I left medical, even I did never gave competition in my life for the for that, because of this rat race. But once again come up with that, like, okay, you eventually, whatever whatever courses you are doing in your life, you have to compete into this one. So then, but the point is this, it's a new courses, you don't have a good faculty. I don't say good faculty, but the point is this, that courses is new to those faculty also. So they were reading it and then teaching. So the point is this, if they are not knowing much about those things, how they teach us, right? So then we started doing self study, and then hitting the stone, like, okay, what is inside, and then just try to dig, okay. And then, when you start molecular biology, like plus two people, when you go to, there's just like as a BSc, think about that, like graduate people, when you give the whole Nellinger book, Strayer book, and the Cube book, and then digging all around, that what is happening in the molecular level. Oh my God! Like, even if when you are reading very superficial at that point of now, I think right now plus two people nowadays, there is a course like molecular biology and the biochemistry. Some point of time, then you can encounter those things, right? But at the point of, there was nothing. So, but at the point of that time, we we were aware that, like, BSc Biotech is not an end now.
Mm-hmm. It's just a
When
start.
it's just a start, like you enter into a maze, and that's the start of the maze, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to go inside and then find your success, right? And so that's initially when I started with the proverb, small steps taken together takes you to a mile.
Mm-hmm.
So then the point is this, don't worry about the future. Just whatever you are doing, like, be patient, do your best, and then rest, leave it to the God, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, so just do it with your, like, whatever in a best way you can do it, you start doing it. Then we completed it, and then we applied for MSc biotechnology, because anyway, when we completed BSc biotechnology, then it is a kind of a one-way route we have taken. Then there is a no U-turn.
Mm-hmm.
So until and unless, like, you forget about the bachelor's and then start doing something else, then we have taken MSc biotechnology. We have uh, went through the exams, and then finally got the Garhwal University. And fortunately, Vishal Singh Nagi also got the same university, and
Mm-hmm.
then we went together once again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once again, we were the batch, like, bench mat.
Mm-hmm.
So for the plus two, for the graduation, for the MSc,
Nice.
and then we completed over there. That was the definitely, it's a beautiful day, because as a schooling, that was a golden time, I must say, like MSc, because I encountered, like, okay, when you do something, and then people start like feeling, no, I can't do it, then you started teaching other people,
Yes.
because because we already encounter with such a courses, and then lots of people came from like basic bachelors, like botany, zoology, or chemistry. And then when they started having the same book, like Cube, Leninger, and then Stryer, all those things, they were in a like overwhelming situation once again, what we had 3 years back.
Mm-hmm.
Then we started giving feedback, no, you do like that, you still like that. So we were in a MSc, we were like few student, three student were there. We had done the BSc biotechnology, kind of unofficial
Teacher.
uh, mentor for
Mentor. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
other people, like, okay, follow this book, you should read this book, and then all those things. Finally completed it, and then because now we have taken the path, so ultimately there was a thing like that, and then it was getting into the mind, like, after BSc biotechnology, we have to go and do the PhD.
Mm-hmm.
So then Then first I joined CDRI
Hmm.
uh, for I think for 4 months or something. Uh, After completing my MSc,
Hmm.
when I go over there, then I don't feel the environment is so like that kind of stimulating what I wanted to like what I was expecting something else. Although CDRI is a great institute and
Hmm.
then it's a renowned institute in a country, but somehow it's my personal opinion. Lots of people
Hmm.
is doing PhD and everything from CDRI, but it was my personal opinion. I didn't find in my perspective it was not stimulating because people were so isolated. They were not discussing their things or research to other people. I joined there. I was isolated for 2 months, couple of months, and then no one was discussing. Like even the guide was not discussing the project. He said, "You just came, so okay, we will be discussing later on." And then the people who is like working like 3 or 4 years from like he was a senior, then he is still like, "Don't worry." So and then he is like kind of like, okay, I'm landed into some kind of kingdom where he is a king, and then I have a no value into this one, and then you have to survive somehow. Then I thought, no, this thing not work. Like I think I cannot excel into this environment. So many people do this is a kind of like how you perceive this situation. Then I got an opportunity to work in ICGB. So there was a JRF position. I just joined over there. I said, okay, let's go and then have a feel of international, because I heard that like that's a international center for genetic engineering, and lots of brilliant scientists like who did their postdoc and all the career, they eventually landed up open there, and then it was from United Nations Institute. So okay, go. And then so I have taken the decision, let it leave the PhD over there and then go and join over there. So I joined over there, and then I think it was a great decision. So the environment, the things I wanted, I really got it. People was very even like they are very open. You can discuss your things, they can discuss your thing, and eventually you can talk to different people, different brilliant scientists. You can just go on the coffee and then just, okay, hold it, I wanted to like have a this issue, can you solve it? You can troubleshoot, you can talk about that. So the type of thing, like when you are doing a PhD, this is very required. That's why PhD people in India, when they do the science, they need some guidance in terms of that what you are doing it, what is the best way to finish your PhD, what are the things like you want to learn. Because during the PhD nowadays is a very tough situation for every people, because the kids is available,
Hmm.
right? You go and then you can find all those stuff. Kit plasmid you can purify with your kids, DNA you can purify with the kids, RNA you can use trizole or something, anything, whatever. There is a shortcuts method. A student right now, they are not talking about what how you like what's the principle behind it,
Hmm.
how doing it, right?
Yes.
Until unless you are not as an initial researcher, right? If you are not going into that kind of thing, like even if you use any kit, but what's the mechanism, how it, because recipe is not written, you have to go and then open the miniatis and try to find the actual traditional method. You have to read about that.
Yes.
And nowadays, no one cares about that, right? They will say, oh, I have it. Why I will go ahead and read about that. But the point is this: when you look at the like any mechanism or something, you should have a strong basics, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So the basic is missing now in new generation, I must say, and it's not like that. Like it is not a problem for India. Even I have seen in US also the people who is like as a graduate student they are joining. I know in a when they do the pre-med courses or like when they do the like after when they do the college,
Hmm.
they read most of the thing, but when they come up to do the PhD, they don't care about the mechanism and principle. They want to just finish the PhD. Now the people's motive is like they have to finish the PhD, right? So so I learned. So I made my basic strong over there, everything like systematically, like. And even I am very thankful in like ICGB, my PI, Nirupama Bhatnagar. Uh, so I'm very thankful. I always be obliged to my core of the heart. Like, okay, she gave me the like tough situation in my life so that like I learned everything, like even for the basic technique or something. Whenever, like, even if the kit is available, I don't think she only come to me and then say, no, you don't use the kit, just use the regular one. Even, people like for their, like, if the DNA sequencing for the plasmic sequencing, like if you do the site directed mutagenesis, so people are sending for the sequencing facility to get like where the mutation is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for that, she told me, why you are sending your plasmid for the sequencing, like your mutagenesis work or not?
Mm-hmm.
We have all the reagent and then order some S35.
Mm-hmm.
And then why you are not doing the like traditional method, run that Sanger sequence gel.
Mm-hmm.
So so I said, okay, I accepted the challenge. And then I in my PhD, I have a beautiful blot of like ATCG, and then through there, like I read my like notation of that.
Absolutely. This is something which we always say, that nothing can surpass or bypass the basics. It is
Yeah,
integral. You have to have.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. And then if someone thinks, no, every people is like sending like sequencing, why I'm not privileged to have that opportunity? I
Mm-hmm.
never learned those things, right?
Yes.
So, and then if you learn those things, you can do so many technique. It's like that's the basic of that technique. And then like DNA footprinting and then other thing, you can do it. Lots of things you can do it. And then you learn eventually. And then because of that, I have an interest, like I started my interest like at the molecular level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I have to learn in terms of like molecular level. Because of that, she forced me to study the like actual basic fundas of the techniques, like what
Absolutely.
are how it works, and then how you can do that. You just make one solution, make other solution, and then use it, right? So then
Mm-hmm.
you know, okay, what's the importance of one solution and how you are implementing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then after completing PhD, so then I moved for my first postdoc. So so when in a life like, and in a postdoc career, in a research career, so the career was just started when I joined PhD. Like, okay, now I have to go into the research.
Mm-hmm.
So it was started at the point of time when I left CDRI
Mm-hmm.
and then joined ICGB and then started and completed my PhD. Then okay, I have to follow this route
Mm-hmm.
eventually, and then so that what's the option, right? I had an option like, okay, I can stay over there and then look for assistant professor position and then started teaching in university or something. But like that, no. I want to do something more into the researches. I want more exposure into my life. So I got an opportunity at Ohio State University, and then so the point is this. Now the actual journey once again started.
Yes.
Right. I was thinking PhD is a start of your journey. No. Then that point I was wrong. Then once I joined first postdoc, then journey started once again. The major started from there itself, right? So there are lots of challenges if you come over there. So I think you can also, in a researcher celebrity, you can have opinion with other people. As an immigrant, what are the challenges to do research?
We do
And
discuss this in our conversations, like whenever we are having researchers from abroad, and some of the things which we always try to bring here is like there are different type of shocks. It's not only cultural, but the pace of research which you are doing, and then the languages in some case, like if you are going to European countries. So we discuss these things so that researchers in India can get benefited and can prepare themselves
Yep.
for that shock, at least
Yeah.
caution themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you are in India and then you are looking at the other people who is doing postdoc over here, it looks very lucrative, right?
Mhm.
Oh, you are working in US. But when you actually started working over here, you eventually you can see there are lots of challenges, not in terms of research, but in terms of your personal life, in the sense like how many years you will become as an immigrant, what else you try to find like some stability in terms of like you don't depend upon the visas, right?
Mhm.
So that's the another story we will talk about later. But the point is this: when I go over there, then I I had the impression like I'm going to US, and then I will go to a like at that point of time there are lots of movies came,
Mhm.
Hollywood movies, right? Hollow Man and all those things. You see the lab, so sophisticated lab. Oh my God! So I had that type of like like a dream in my mind. I'm going to US, and then I will go, and then I will be like having a opportunity to get those type of facility. Ohio State University is a great university, but in terms of like the lab I got it, I was the only one in the lab,
Mhm.
me and PI. Okay. So I was the postdoc, I was the research technician, I was the ordering people, I was everything.
Mhm.
so so I was handling everything, and then lab. So and then the situation, even I was feeling I like got demoted,
Mhm.
because ICGV facility, it's a
Yes.
like whole like long corridor
Yes.
where different people and workbench side by side, and then you were working in front of you, lots of people working, so you get motivated. Oh my God, he's working till like 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and
Mhm.
then I'm working there. I landed to a like two small room, like not a small room must say, but two independent room, where that lab belonged to my PI, and then I was all alone. So it's a kind of close environment. I found myself in a jail kind of thing, where
Mhm.
no people is there, and then I have to work from like 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Absolutely. No,
So
this is something which I think is worth mentioning here for the researchers doing research in India, that not everything which shines is gold.
yeah,
And that is what just Dr. Shashi told us. Some of the institutes in India, yes, we cannot say it for all of the institutes or all of the universities, but some of what we have in India are way better than around the world. We have state of art facilities. India is growing with not only opportunities, but with infrastructure also. You can get research done way better and efficient, way more collaborative. Now things are changing in India. And Dr. Sashi just mentioned about this thing. It is very important that whenever you are considering your options, you should be not only going for a country or a PI, you should be doing your research all thorough, like the number of people, as Dr. Shashi mentioned, the number of people in the lab, how is the group, the environment, because now these Zoom facilities are there. You can request your prospective PI to have an interaction with one-on-one interaction with all the group members, so that you are prepared that what are the peoples you are going to work with, and how you can make your decisions, that what you want and what you don't. Because Dr. Shashi also mentioned that ruling out thing is also very important, that what you don't want to do. What you
yeah,
want to do is always like you are going to pursue your research, doing wonders, but there are things which you should also know, like your weaknesses, your what you don't simply just don't want to do. Your passion is one thing, but your limitation is also one thing, which is very important, because often it has been seen that student commit to something which they can't, and then they perish. So talking for this, Dr. Shashi, I would like to ask a question that you have briefly touched upon. So in India, currently what has been seen is that students join their PhDs after 3 or 5 years, they drop out. and in very sad cases, they commit suicide. So, what you can suggest to a student who's going through a tough time and encounter with your conversation, how will you guide them?
That's a very important question. So, you know, my answer for this, like every people who started doing PhD are in the same situation. So the point is this: how you are handling yourself, right? Then how you are maintain your like curiosity, how you are taking those things into a positive mindset. So it's a game of mindset when you start doing a PhD. Initially, I told you, when you are joining a PhD, don't think like you are there is a certain things PI is going to tell you, like, okay, this is the path. You start from here and then finish up to here, and then you get your PhD. No, it's not like that. You have to do research, and there are lots of challenges, and even those things is not done by anyone. So you have to find those way, right? So so the point is this: if you dive in, if you see any lake from the or if you see the sea from the top, it looks very uh, like what you call very calm, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you actually dive in, you can find there is a hell lot of thing, right?
Yeah.
So the point is this: when you join it, so your mindset should be that, like, okay, my motto is not like completing my PhD, like getting a degree. Because the point is this: if you are not curious enough, like what you did, why you are doing it, what what are the things you have to, like, if you have some project, why you are doing it, what are the things that could be benefited for the researcher society, or like in terms of humanity, in terms of like, that's the different story. But the point is this: whatever you do your best in terms of like why you are doing it,
Mm-hmm.
how the things is going on. It's not like that, like if someone says, okay, just these two things, and then result you can publish in the paper and then get the PhD. Those things you get frustrated when you actually compete with other people, when you are going for the interview, when you are going for like postdoc positions or something. They start discussing with you, and then your basic is zero, right? So I must say, you have every people, they have to work on their basics. Just set on the basic, like basic sub basic subjects, like research doesn't matter, but the basic of that subjects, they have to work on that. And if they understand all those things, definitely they will not be doing it, and then they will definitely have a success in the coming years. So, and then I think they have to like maintain like mindset into the like positive things, and
Mm-hmm.
then they have to maintain perseverance, like, okay, like I have not diverted into this one. You have to maintain like passion for the things what you are doing. It doesn't matter whatever you do, but you have to show your passion into those things. And curiosity is definitely another thing. Without curiosity, passion never stay. So even if you do very small thing, is you do with the curiosity, like why you are doing it. And then the things you got it, it should be your achievement. Okay, I have this, I have identified this. And then that the next step, it will give you confidence to go another step. So that's why you take a smallest step into your PhD life, 1 year at a time, and eventually make you better year after another.
Researchers. Absolutely. And this is something like which I would like to tell all the audience here, that the advice from Dr. Shashi, like always keep the positive mindset, because yes, you are curious, you are passionate about research. That's the reason why you enrolled for PhD. But the perseverance is the key here. You might not get the results as you want every day, but there will be days where the experiments have worked the way you wanted. So perseverance is the key. Don't let failed experiment dishearten you. In fact, a researcher, what we always say is like a person who excels in troubleshooting that because biology doesn't change. If something has to work the way it has, there are ways it might not be working because we are making some flaw or missing something, which is very important. And as Dr. Sashi also mentioned, that just mixing two things is not what research is. Okay. Everyone
So
knows.
So I want to add few more thing over here. As I
Yes.
said, you should be aware like what should not do, right? What
Yes.
are the things you should not do?
Mhm.
So failure always teach you in your life or in the research also. Like let's say you are performing some experiment, right? And then you have some failure. Okay. I don't say it is a failure or it's a negative result. I always say that's the result that will tell you you should never repeat those mistakes or you should never once again like you should be knowing okay these things I don't have to do it, right? So a
Mhm.
kind of that is also a kind of positive result that show you if you do like this you will not get anything, right?
Yes. Absolutely. That is the
so,
mindset. That's what we
so
always say
that
that.
mindset, if you even if you see the failure in that mindset, you will find the actual positive thing in the life, and then you will come up with the best way to reach your like positive data, or like something like you wanted to uh, take your project in a particular direction. Because if you think okay I did like 5 or 6 expend everything is failed, but this will show you like okay 5 thing will not work for this, right?
Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
a positive result, right?
True.
in
True.
the in the life too also, if you have a failure, then you feel like that okay this will not gonna work, I should not repeat in my life, right?
And this is something which we always say that PhD is not a degree. It changes you, it trains you as a person. And if you can sustain PhD, you can live life, better than the others who have not done that. Yes. So now I would like to ask the we have to talk about the work-life balance and also about the research you have enjoyed at academia and in industry. And on the basis of both of these, what you can suggest to our viewers?
Okay, so first question at one time. Okay, so work life balance, first of all, it's very important in your life. I know it doesn't matter when you are not married, frankly speaking, right? But when you get married, and then when you have a kiddos, right, then this thing is more important in the life, right? So when you complete your PhD, most of the people is not like married at the time. Very like less people, I must say, like 1 or 2% of people they got married between like during the PhD. So I'm not, because my expertise is not on that behalf, because I was not married at the point of time, and then when I landed over here, so I was as a like okay I can stay in the lab for like even till 10 o'clock or something, because when you come up in a situation like where there is a no u-turn, and then you have to do research, and then you have to like prove yourself. There is lots of people like sometimes you have to prove even you don't want to, but you have to prove yourself. Like when you do PhD, and then when you come to like a postdoc to do a postdoc, then the people in your life it getting increase. So you have to show, you have to prove yourself in terms of your mentor. You have to show, you have to prove yourself in front of your like parents, because you are mile away, and then parents is not there, you are sacrificing your like social life, or like parents and uh, family relation. And then the point is this: if there is a proverb like if you want to get something you have to lose something, right? So eventually you are losing all those things, and then you are try to excel into research, or like try to get something, prove yourself. There are a lot of things like you are compromising your life, right? So there we never care in terms of personal life balance. Even started lab from like 8 o'clock sometimes, what I will do, and then go, okay, let me stay over here till 10 o'clock, people are doing. And this is the case of immigrants, I must tell you. The people who is born and brought up over here, or like a citizen over here, this situation is not like applicable to those. This is the situation of most of the people when we talk about immigration issue, and then people who is coming from a different country and then landed into their research career into the US or any other country. What are the potential issue? So they have to at least survive in terms of like you know like do more research, get more data, and then so that like there is a kind of like mindset when you come join any lab, you have to work so hard and compete with other people so that like your project and then your renewal every year you should be getting renewal, right? Otherwise you will not maintain your visa, then you have to go back to India. So there, I never care about the work-life balance because even sometimes I go on the weekend also. Saturday, Sunday doesn't matter. Even we have a long weekend. We never care about that. I never care about that for that. And most of the friends of mine, they never care about that. But when you got married, then the situation become tricky. You have to give time to your like wife, and then when you have a kids you have to enjoy weekend, you have to take them some other places or something. Then how you have to manage? So in that scenario, ICGB trained me in that in this situation. That's why I'm blessed. I did my PhD from ICGB, and my mentor gave me training in terms of that, like, okay, here is a like tough situation, and in if you accept those tough situation, it will help you in your further life, right? Then at the point of time, I started doing research like 5 4 experiment at one time so that you can reduce the time, like whole day work. Then
Yes.
you don't have to come on Saturday and Sunday, right? Because if you do one experiment one at time, then definitely you have to stay longer in the like weekdays. And then sometimes like if experiment fails, then to compensate and then to get the positive data, you have to work on weekends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so then you have to build yourself, like you have to like make yourself so strong, so positive mindset, so that 5 experiments 6 experiment and one time you can do it, right?
Yeah.
So I remember my days like I'm doing Western at one time, Northern also is going, Southern also is going, cloning is also going. I don't know how many things I'm doing at the same time. So that, don't know why I was doing it, because I have to leave the lab at 6 o'clock, yeah, or
Mm-hmm.
5 o'clock. And
Yes.
then I don't have to come on the Saturday and Sunday because I wanted to give my time to. But even even that is not enough. Sometimes you have to come because, like, let's say some experiment is there, you can't finish on the weekend, weekdays. Then eventually you have to come on the weekend, right? Like, let's say mice experiment, something is going on, then you have to come to take care of the mice. So you can't do anything. But the point is this: you can reduce. So if you accept something in a positive way, there
Yeah.
is a way.
Yeah.
There is a way, and then you can maintain your work-life balance by adding these things into your life.
Yeah.
So I will suggest all of them to start doing things like multiple things at one time.
Mm-hmm.
It will definitely help all the Indian like graduate people, like PhD people. When you start doing research over there, it will be really helpful for
Mm,
them.
absolutely.
And, yeah, and then coming to your second question, what was the second question?
Academia and in industry.
Yeah, so that's the that's the if I start talking about like the challenges is academia nowadays in US, it will be another session. So I will keep it short. And then why I decided to like leave academia and then join industry. So that's my personal opinion. It doesn't apply to all of the people, but I will share my perception over here. So when you start doing your career, eventually it starts, and then eventually it's like your time clock starts. also at the same time. Like, let's say, I will give an example. Like, let's say you have to finish a race, like something you are started a race. It's a start point, right? But there is also a time clock start clicking. Like you have to finish your these postdoc journey in a particular time. If you don't finish it, if you don't find any alternate route, then you have to go back to your country, right? So when you join as a, like, let's say you join as a like J1 visa, right? So there is a 5 years of window. So you are very, it's a very golden years of postdoc for every people when they come up with a J1. So they are in a kind of like beautiful aroma and then kind of thing. Okay, you can go here, you can go there, and then oh my God, I'm in US or something. But actually, the the time clock is to start clicking. So once you reach the 5 years, you cannot, once again, you cannot have on J1. So 5 years window, you have it. And then you have to convert your visa from J1 to H1, so 5 more years, right? And then you cannot extend your H1 after 5 years until unless you have your permanent residency or something, another visa O1 or something. But actually, time clock starts, right? So so I went through that, and then the point is this: here in US, like, to become successful in academic research, you should have your own grant, like after completing, like, as a first postdoc, second postdoc. So 7 years was done, and then I joined University of Colorado. So when I was joining the University of Colorado, I got an offer as a research instructor. It's a kind of a faculty position, not an independent, but eventually it's a position kind of faculty, but you are working with some PI, right? So everything depends upon, like, all the decision, like lab decision, research decision was taken by that PI, but you have given like multiple projects and then you can lead them independently. So that was the advantage. But when I joined, I negotiated few things like, can I have the opportunity to generate my own grants, like submit NIH grant, and then how you, like, these are very important questions when you join, when you have a transition from one lab to another lab. This is a very important thing you should negotiate, and then people don't negotiate, people don't
Yeah.
discuss your careers thing when they are joining to other lab, right? So I negotiated few things like how you will support to become as an independent researcher,
Mm-hmm.
like what your thoughts, because I am coming as a positive mindset, but like,
Mm-hmm.
let's say if someone who is sitting in front of you is not supporting you, then
Yes.
you never be, right?
True.
So I asked few things like, do you support my green card application? He said yes. So how you will be thinking, like how you will support my independent application or independent grant writing something? So do you think like I will have any opportunity so that like I can become independent? He said yes. Then I joined over there. Then the point is this: when you joined, he gave me, like, as a in a research career, that lab was my golden era in terms of my research, I must say. I i was allowed to come up with my own ideas. I can test them. At the same time, he has his own beautiful ideas. So I was working like 5 or 6 projects at a one time, and and then handling, and then whenever I give any some idea, he is very supportive. I said, okay, let's do and test it. And I'm very fortunate, I must say. Whatever the science paper recently I published from that lab, that actually that idea started by me. And then I was not sure like that idea will go so far so that we can publish that story in science. So so the point is this, but the point, I'm coming to transition, right? So
Yes.
even if I now I'm in industry, and if someone knows about me, like I have a science paper and I'm working in an industry, he's looking from top to bottom, like why I have like taken that decision,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the point is this: whatever decision you are taking it, you should be confident into this one, and then you should have a like positive mindset in that one. Why you are taking it? It's not like that. Okay, I don't have any option. Whatever, even if you don't have any option, whatever the steps people are taking it, he should be confident on that, right?
Yes.
So that like the issue, the challenges were there, like when you have in a lab, and then even if you have an opportunity to become an independent, there is some kind of background challenges, because first you are working for that PI, right?
Mm-hmm.
So eventually he will give you 3 4 projects, because his lab, how there is a lots of difference between uh, Indian scientist and then US scientists.
Mm-hmm.
US, everyone aware, like US scientists run their salary from their projects, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So eventually you got a like, everyone is getting like working for them actually
Mm-hmm.
when you join any lab, right? And then whatever the data you are generating, it's belong to them. It's their wish. Like you can submit that as an independent, or like all the data he is submitted as his own grant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is depend upon the PI mindset, right?
Yes.
So whatever the 5 project or 6 project I was working on and generating the data, eventually he is submitting all the grants in terms of like his grant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not allowed to submit, like not allowed, like if I'm not getting any data out of that, I cannot make a story so that I can submit my own grant.
Mm-hmm.
So until and unless you don't have your own grant from NIH or any bigger financial institution over here, eventually you are not get going to get an independent lab or tenure position, right? That's the fact over
Yeah.
here, right? So so then when I discuss this thing with my PI, he said, I gave you freedom, huh? You can come up with the idea and then test it, right? So but that's the point. You have your kiddos, you have your family, you have to give time to your family, right? And I don't have like multiple hands, I have 2 hands at a
Mm-hmm.
time. Even if I can manage 3 4 experiment on one time, but he never gave me leverage to like I can test my thing at the same time. Like he gave me so much of work. Okay, we have to do this thing, and then you are spending 8 hours. Even that is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Some point of time, so that like you are buying time from the weekend, or like you are staying few more hours after like 5 o'clock to complete those things, right? So then from where I should generate my data for my grant, right? Then you have to, sometimes you have to come up on the weekend or something and work on that and then generate the data, right? But even there is no surety that will click, like in terms of like you will get a grant for that, right? So after working 4 years over there, then I started feeling in my mind like, okay, no, this is not gonna work. I will struggle for my whole year over here, but still like I'm not able to generate a good data that ultimately lead to a like my own funding, right? My own project, so that like I become independent researcher. So one day, then I started applying in company, and I never share initially. When I got a position, then I went in front of him, and then I told, see, it is not working. I cannot, lifelong, I cannot work with you. I know you are a beautiful scientist, like you are a big scientist. I like working with you, but my whole life I cannot stay with you, right? Because even if he told me, like, I like you, I like the way you work, you can stay with my lifelong, right? But I don't know the people's life, right? Maybe their situation, they can come up in the some day of point of time, the lab, and they say next month he's retiring, right?
Yes.
Then my career is over, right?
Yeah.
And and when you spend like 10 years in US, then the opportunity to getting another position is really lesser when you spend more time in US, right? When you are fresh PhD, you have a multiple opportunity, When you complete 5 years, when you go to the H1, then your opportunity will be 50%. When you once again spend 5 years, then your opportunity is 1%.
Mhm.
And then once again, you work as a assistant research professor for 5 more years, you're getting another position in another lab is 0.1%, right?
Yeah,
So these are the challenges. So that's why I said, if this is not working, maybe my like lots of connection, they become a like independent assistant professor, become associate professor. It depends their own situation in the lab, like how they are getting opportunity, how they manage to like get their own data, and
yeah,
then how they submit. It's their story. My story is there. I never come up with my time compared to work life balance, so that like I can produce something for myself, because I was totally working for my VI. So
absolutely. Priorities is what we always say, that everyone has
you
their
have,
own
yeah,
priority.
you have to decide, you have to take your priority in your life. Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead. What you were saying?
Absolutely. So this is what we always say to all our researchers and viewers here, that you have to prioritize your life, because your race is not in competition with anyone, but it is your own path which you want to work on. And as Dr. Shashi has discussed very much practical aspects of researchers, their challenges if you are doing research outside India, the positives if what you are doing research in India, and also like the path to an independent researcher. With this, we will say thank you to Dr. Shashi and to all the audience, that if you have questions for Dr. Shashi, you can write it to him, or if you want Empowering Science Foundation to help you, we are here to help you for always by connecting with our researcher celebrities. We also have this mentor and mentee program, where our researcher celebrities, whosoever has willing, becoming a mentor, so you can have one-on-one time with them also. So to all the researchers, all the enthusiasts, will say stay curious, enjoy your research, do whatever makes you happy. And Dr. Shashi has pointed out so many important and critical points which you should follow and keep doing it with. And thank you very much, Dr. Shashi, for this conversation and igniting more researchers, their brains all around the world.
I must say I should thanks to you, so that like I share my experience, so it might be helpful to other people. And then I'm open to everyone. If someone wants to connect with me, he can email me. They can like, he or she can call me, or like we can discuss all those things. So I know there are lots of challenges I have been through, and then I can suggest with my experience. So thank you so much. It
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 was a
was.
pleasure having conversation with you. And this is one of the small initiative which Empowering Science Foundation has taken to build this network where people all around the globe can talk and discuss their ideas. And if they are facing the challenge, can seek the help from experts like you. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
yeah, yeah. Thank you.